y'all, what's up? It's Friday, so I'm gonna keep it black, but I'm gonna keep it brief. Ron DeSantis is a literal supervillain, up there with the likes of Black Jack Randall and damn Thanos. Literally out here trying to make over the squirrels. That was a Proud Family reference. I mean, take over the world. Look me in my face. This is serious, people. Ronald McDonald announced his run for president last Wednesday on Twitter of all places. Sat down with the CEO of Twitter, Elon Musk, and the same man that got y'all dizzy over blue check subscriptions had him up there with technical difficulties, glitches, and audio crashes. You could barely hear anything they were saying. But one thing we did hear him say is that American decline is not inevitable. It is a choice, and we should choose a new direction, a path that will lead to American revitalization. And for one, we should be clear about the type of revitalization he's even talking about. And if his work in Florida serves as any pretext, then we know the decline he's talking about is the desire for critical change in our education system to embrace the analysis of racism, to accept gay people, women's rights, trans people, and the desire for stricter gun laws. He's implemented the infamous Don't Say Gay law, HB 1521, which restricts public access to transgender people, SB 254, which bans gender-affirming care for the youth, HB 1069, that bans the correct pronoun usage for trans students, HB 1438, which bans drag shows, and the HB 225, an anti-trans sports bill. And if you wanted to peacefully protest any of these undoubtedly fascist policies, well, he's banned that too. And before long, they're gonna be trying to arrest people like me for sedition. So I'm not kidding when I say this. It's giving Hitler. Revitalization is exactly the same language he was giving at the top of his career as this messianic leader before the nationalism, elitism, and fascism that somehow led to Jewish people being murdered in internment camps right before our eyes. And if we want to take that full circle, Hitler's Aryan race philosophy was informed by the codified racism of early Jim Crow. And Jim Crow is also the system that informs the grand design that DeSantis has been employing all along, the Southern strategy. A throwback, if you will. Nixon did it, Reagan did it, Trump did it, and now we're sitting here horrified looking at the prospect of DeSantan making it into office. The Southern strategy was first employed by Kevin Phillips, Richard Nixon's political strategist. The goal of the Southern strategy was essentially to lean into the racism that already existed in the South, to lure white racist Democrats out of the Democratic Party and over on down to the GOP. They did not coin this term, but they certainly took it and ran with it. When discussing the outcome of the Voting Rights Act of 1964, the one that allowed black people to register to vote unencumbered, Kevin said, the more Negroes that register as Democrats in the South, the sooner the Negrophobe whites will quit the Democrats and become Republicans. They have no shame. And while Nixon's strategy may have resulted in an over-obsession with communism, Reagan's may have resulted in the end of free college, a trampled economy, and negotiation with terrorists, Trump's may have resulted in a proliferation of the Proud Boys, but DeSantis poses danger to the lives of Americans even more so because he's threatening our very being. And here's the thing, Ron DeSantis done upped the ante, elevated the Southern strategy, and got y'all so hyped up on his anti-black, anti-woman, anti-queer, pro-gun platform, and guess what? He probably don't even believe in it. He can't possibly. He's too smart and too successful a politician to be limited by flat-out ignorance. But guess what? Y'all not. And there it is. We saw it with Tucker Carlson. These people only believe in this shit to the extent that they know that you believe in it and are so impressed by it that you'll carry y'all dumbasses down to the courthouses and use it as the only information you use to vote with. And as DeSantis puts it, Florida is where woke goes to die. And unfortunately, he has now tried to rope Asians in on his anti-woke narrative while literally banning critical race theory and books about black people left and right like it's Fahrenheit 451. The man is mandating that AAPI history be taught in Florida schools. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be. I'm just saying he don't like y'all neither. He using y'all just like the white racists in an attempt to garner Asian support against the interests of black people. Beyond that, this move also serves as a message to the rest of the Americans that might vote for him that doubles down on the mono-minority myth, which is another conversation altogether. It's crazy how many of y'all don't like us just because white people set you up to hate us, no matter how down for y'all we've been historically. And listen, I know Joe just took a tumble, and I really am not interested in getting up here to beg y'all to vote again. And I know it seems like this show is about politics, and you're not wrong, but you are mistaken. This show was developed to engage the public in critical conversation about identity politics. That means you, all the pieces that make up your identity and who you are. And unfortunately, policy that should be focused on the economy, actual criminality, and how this country actually runs itself is actually hinged on you. The government of a country that had to codify slavery and misogyny into law to justify it will always have its priorities conflated with human rights. And if we don't do something and show up, they will do their best to kill us and call it legal. So Ron DeSanctimonious is right. And we can try to laugh to keep from crying, but it's literally scary out here.